All right. Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Maap Talks. My name is Melvin. I'm one of the board members of Maap, and we are here on Maap Talks episode 4, and we have our guest for today. He's going to talk about color management in DaVinci Resolve. He's a multimedia artist and a colorist. He's a color enthusiast and a graduate of the Multimedia Arts and Sciences at Mapua University. He has worked with his way up in the advertising and production industry, and he started his career 5 years ago and is currently working as a colorist and technical color specialist at Bare Bones Incorporated, a color grading facility in the Philippines providing top of the line services for TV, digital media, music video, and feature films. He also attended the 2018 Da Vinci Resolve Certified Colorist Workshops with Jobert Monteras. He also attended the Advanced Colors class at the International Colorist Academy with Mr. Kevin Shaw in 2019. And he also attended the Color Grading Masterclass with Dado Valentic in 2020. And he recently worked for a Japanese film entitled Make Believers, which won several awards, to name a few, at the Best Film at the European Film Awards in 2021. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our speaker for today, Mr. Verge Tafanda. Hi, Verge!
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, sir. Kamusta?
Okay, good. Ikaw, how are you? How are you, Verge?
Okay din naman, sir. It's been a while na rin na
Oo nga,
nag-usap tayo.
I haven't seen you for the longest time. Yeah, Verge is also my former student then back in the days. Back in the days.
Back in the days.
So Verge, I think maybe we can like share some of your knowledge and expertise when it comes to color management.
Yes, sir.
I think bit mo rin ang iyong reel.
Yes, sir.
Tama ba?
Before we
By the
proceed,
way, where are you
play
staying
lang
now?
natin.
Yeah,
Sir?
i-play natin. Where are you
Sir?
staying now? Nasaan ka ngayon?
Sa bahay ko lang, sir. Cavite.
Yeah, where
Work
you
from
now?
home.
Sa Cavite ka, no? Sa Cavite.
Yes, sir. Cavite, sir.
Medyo,
Ayun. So, work from home kami.
okay, set up mo para work from home na work from home.
Kwartong-kwarto lang.
Oo nga, sige. Alright,
Ayun,
sige,
sir.
anytime, Verge, you wanna share your screen and we can start talking about your presentation.
Okay, sige. Before that, so, play ko lang yung demo reel ko. So, playing back. Yeah.
I can see when I close my eyes, suddenly going back in time. You were young, running wild, you were free. You were broken in love, and we did what we wanted. We did what we want, 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 did what we want.
So, that's my reel. So, most of it na ginawa ko doon are color managed. So, everything there is almost color managed. Pero yung mga works ko from 2017 yata wasn't kasi hindi pa ako aware about color management that time. So, sir, let's proceed na with the presentation. Okay. So, short presentation lang, and then let's proceed with the demo sa Resolve. So DaVinci Resolve Color Managed workflows. So before we talk about management rather, let's talk about first yung cameras, the type of cameras that we shoot with, and yung deliverables or outputs na kailangan natin. So we have 3 types of cameras that we use normally sa commercials or sa films, sa mga music videos yan. So first, yung consumer cameras. So recently, ginagamit na rin yung mga smartphones like iPhone, Samsung cameras na ginagamit na rin siya for dagdag footage. So usually, itong mga consumer cameras na to are usually rich in contrast and saturation, and it's ready for viewing. So hindi siya in log form, or I think iPhone meron na rin siyang log na controls, pero hindi pa ako familiar with it. And then next are the prosumer cameras like yung A7S, Fujifilm X-T4s, DJIs. So these cameras can capture footage in log form. So kunwari yung mga S-Log sa A7S, Fuji, F-Log yan, D-Log sa DJI. So kaya siya nakalog, nakaka-preserve siya ng data dun sa image na yun. So it gives more latitude for grading and preserving detail. However, if clip na talaga yung highlights dun sa shot na yun, hindi na natin mababawi yun with these kinds of form, yung mga log form na yan. And then the next are the professional cameras or yung mga cine cameras like ARRI, RED, yung mga Blackmagic. So those cameras can capture raw, shoot raw. So it can capture several stops of light and allow you to change it in grading. So later, I'll show you yung kung paano natin pwede palitan yung stops of light using the raw tools sa Resolve. And then the next is yung different deliverables or outputs for grading. So pinaka-standard is yung Rec 709. So this is for broadcast television, for web usually. Pero sa ibang bansa yata ginagamit din yung sRGB for web. Pero sa atin Rec 709. So next is P3D65. So these are used for cinema projectors. And then Rec 2020 for HDR deliverables. Etong dalawang to, yung P3 and yung Rec 20, ito yung rarely or halos hindi talaga natin ina-export dito sa Philippines. Because yun nga, for viewing din ng P3D65, yung grading yan, kailangan din ng projector for it. So madalas, broadcast monitor yung gamit natin. Hindi available yung projector. So Rec 709 pa rin yung ina-export for films or for cinema projectors. And then Rec 2020, yung HDR natin, wala pang demand this time for HDR dito sa Philippines. But in some countries like sa United States, sa UK, ito na yung nagiging standard. So HDR na yung grading nila, and then kino-convert sa SDR. So that's where color management comes in. So from HDR to SDR, mga ganun. So what is color management? So color management is the process by which colors are kept consistent across displays. So yun nga, for Rec 719 output, for P3D65, yun yung role niya. So siya na yung nagmamap ng contrast for those displays. So its role is to preserve color appearance and maximum signal integrity. And color management is not color correcting or grading. So hindi siya, it's part of the process, pero it's not technically color correcting the footage for you. Ikaw pa rin yung gagawa nun. Then next, so these are the advantages of color management, or color managing your project. So being able to work with different types of cameras and color spaces and have it rerouted to the same working color space. So what this means, so for example, you have an S-Log from an A7S camera, and you have an ARRI RAW or Red RAW. So what color management does is pinagsasama niya yung dalawang yun, or inalalagay niya lang sa isang color space yung dalawang yun. So essentially, for example, itong ARRI wide gamut na to, and wala pala yung mga S-Log. So, wari itong Rec 2020, minamap niya papuntang Rec 709. So, lahat ng color information na na-capture ng camera, kusa niya na imamap yun to Rec 709. So, you don't have to do it manually. Like, on a display referred workflow. So mamaya may explain ko pa yun na mas maayos sa DaVinci. So yun, and then another advantage is it allows you to deliver multiple project standards. So what I've said earlier, para HDR, and then pwede ka rin mag-export ng SDR without changing yung grading mo. So gagawin na lahat yun ng color management. Siya na lahat magmamap nung wiring from 1000 nits ng HDR. Imamap niya yun to 100 nits sa SDR. And another is yung to work with some ultra-wide gamut color spaces or color standards. Like ACES or DaVinci Wide Gamut allows. So it allows us to future-proof our projects. So future-proofing, so kuwari, we're working on a DaVinci Wide Gamut. So eto siya. Etong ano na to, itong nakikita niyo to, ito yung human, yung pinaka nakikita lang ng mata natin. Pero si DaVinci, gumawa siya ng container na mas malaki pa dun. So essentially, kuwari, by 2030, magkaroon ng demand magkaroon ng bagong technology na mas maganda pa sa HDR, ganun. Pasok pa din siya dun sa gamut ng DaVinci Wide Gamut. So walang mawawalang detail na pag minap out na siya dun sa bagong technology na yun. Pero yun nga, it's just for future-proofing your projects. So for example, yun, 2030, may bagong technology. Magkakaroon siya nung, mamamap out niya pa rin dun. Medyo ang hirap lang i-explain na picture lang or chart lang. Pero mamaya I'll show you what it looks like. Yan. So next, pag-usapan natin is yung display referred workflow. So display referred means ito yung usually workflow na ginagawa natin sa DaVinci. Yung we're using the primary wheels, lift gamma gain to create the contrast. So we're working from log sa display referred workflow. So tayo yung nagko-color manage nung mga shots. And then a disadvantage of display referred workflow is it can be difficult to manage different color spaces. So for example, may S-log ka and gusto mong i-match sa ARRI log C or sa red wide gamut, medyo it will take some time to color correct it pa bago mo siya mapag-match-match. So LUT is often required. So it's used to transform one color space to another. So, but it can be destructive kasi nga LUTs are just numbers on a table. So pag sumobra na yung value mo doon, medyo mag-i-introduce na siya ng artifacts, mga ganun, kapag nasobrahan na. So ang kagandahan ng transform, hindi niya ginagawang ganun. Mas mathematical in terms of converting. So walang masyadong data na nasisira versus LUT. So mamaya I'll show you din yung sa LUTs versus transform nodes. Yan, so since pag-usapan na natin yung LUTs, so there are 3 types of LUTs. First is the technical LUTs. So it transforms one color space to another. Example, ARRI log C to Rec 709. And then next are aesthetic LUTs. So it's used to create aesthetic looks. So kaya yung M31, if familiar kayo dun, the orange steel LUT na gamit din. And then camera LUTs. So ito, combination na ng technical and aesthetic LUTs. So camera LUTs can also be called yung show LUTs. So kunwari gagawa kayo ng LUT, tapos yun yung gagamitin ng DOP sa film or sa series. So sa monitoring nila, naka-apply na yung LUT na yun. So pagbalik sa'yo, kung ano yung na-shoot nila, yun na din yung pwede mong gamitin na LUT. Para kung ano yung shoot nila sa doon, yun na din yung lalabas sa grading mo. Balik, kung ano yung intent talaga nila, yun na yun. And then, adjust, balance. So, yun, maganda rin yung camera LUTs, pero bihira din natin gawin dito. Yung mga show LUTs na yan. And yan, so yun yung display referred. Tapos yung scene referred is essentially working on a color managed workflow. So, everything na sinabi ko sa color managed, scene referred workflow din yun. So, keeps all the color value in scene space, color transformation. Yung transformation is handled by the software. Hindi na tayo yung magmamanualing gagawa ng contrast, magtutone up to Rec 709. So si DaVinci na yung gagawa nun. And same with the advantage ng color managed, it tends to work better with multiple formats kasi siya na yung nag-convert for you. Okay? So let's move on now to DaVinci Resolve. Yan. So I have a few clips. These are free clips from Blackmagic, from Ari's website, tsaka sa Red. So para matesting nyo din. And pwede nyo i-download ng libre naman siya. So you can test it out. So to set up a color managed workflow sa Resolve, so punta kayo dito sa settings and then go to color management. So ito, DaVinci YRGB, this is display referred. Ito yung display referred na, ayan, di ba? Log form siya. So ikaw yung gagawa ng contrast, ganun. So using the lift and gain tool. Ayan. Add saturation ng konti. Yeah, so normally ganyan di ba? Parang lift gamma gain to create the contrast. This is how we normally work on a display referred workflow. So DaVinci YRGB, yan yung normally natin ginagawa. So on a color managed workflow, and so go back, color manage. So choose this, itong color manage YRGB. And then for the preset, ayan, so para ito, SDRX 709. So this is good for conventional streaming and broadcast. So ito yung pwede natin gamitin sa mga TV, sa commercials, ganun. Na Rec 709 yung output. But I would recommend na gamitin natin yung DaVinci Wide Gamut. Yun nga, for future proofing purposes na din. And the output color space is Rec 709 Gamma 2.4 kasi kung ano yung monitoring na gamit mo, yun din dapat yung color space na output mo. So para hindi magkaroon ng problema. Kasi kuwari, you're using an HDR monitor pero ang output color space mo Rec 709 Gamma 2.4. Mag-iiba yung itsura niya. It's not as intended na for HDR. So kailangan yung HDR, ipalitan mo siya ng, kuwari naka-Rec 2020 siya. So yung monitor settings mo, ibabalik mo siya sa Rec 709. Or vice versa, kung kailangan mo ng HDR, gawin mo siyang yung 1000 nits. Pero never mind the HDR muna kasi wala namang HDR pa dito. So yan, Rec 709 Gamma 2.4. And automatically, yan, so napansin nyo, di ba, nagbago yung contrast niya. May kulay na siya, like this. Yan, mas buhay na yung image. So what it does was, yung log na form niya, so let's go back lang dun sa ito. Ito for example, sa Ari, itong Ari information na to, minap niya papuntang sa Rec 709. So, sure tayo na walang makiklip or crush na details kasi yung software na yung gumawa para sa'yo. So, that is one advantage of color management na, syempre, it, fastens the workflow. Mas mabilis kang makakapagtrabaho kasi buo na yung contrast, ganun. But, yun nga lang, some people prefer pa rin to work on the log form. So, para doon, kuwari gusto mo yung log form pa din, pwede mo siyang i-bypass. So, you right-click the footage and then sa input, well, wala dito kasi raw na siya. But for example, for this one, ito, input color space, bypass. Bypass color management. Yan. So, balik lang din siya sa raw niya. Sa log form niya. Pero, the downside of this is, for example, pinalitan mo yung output color space to something bigger. Hindi niya automatically i-convert din to kasi bypass niya yung color manage. So, let's uncheck that. Uncheck that. Some footages, like yung mga hindi raw talaga, yung mga log na yung sa mga prosumer cameras, yung mga S-log, ganun. Minsan hindi siya agad na detect ng DaVinci. So you have to manually input yung color space niya. So this part is important na makausap niyo din yung DOP to ask anong camera yung ginamit para malagay nyo din yung tamang color space for it. So this one was shot with Fujifilm. So ang ilalagay ko ngayon sa color space niya is Fujifilm F-Log. Yan. So yan na yung tamang niya, conversion to Rec 709. Yan. Ito yung sa Blackmagic. So essentially, may contrast na siya. And then you can start grading with this footage na. Hindi na makikita yung log form niya though pag bypass yung grade. So ito na yung parang niya. So ayan, with this color managed, hindi siya, never siyang magki-clip. Well, syempre, pag inano pa rin, pag sinagad nyo, magki-clip pa rin siya. Pero ito, I'll show you an example. Para sa offset. Kahit iangat ko siya ng iangat, parang niyang pinipinch dun sa tuktok, sa pinaka-brightest whites yung image. So, hindi niya sinasagad palabas. So, hindi talaga siya nakaka-clip compared pag hindi tayo color manage yung workflow natin. So, same goes sa darks. Hindi niya ika-crush yan ng sagad. So, may detail pa rin yan ng kaya niya. So that is one advantage of working color manage. So sure kayo na walang makiklip or walang maka-crush na detail. Pare yan, di ba? It looks very overexposed, pero may detalye pa rin yan eh. Like may difference pa rin yung brightest whites dun sa mga niya, sa itong pare to. May gradient pa rin siya. Pero syempre, kukontrolin niya pa rin yan. Ayan. So, release it. And so, ganun din. Sa curves, kung sanay kayo sa curves, it works like that as well. So, itan ko lang yung scopes. Ayan. So, kahit i-ano ko siya sagad, niya dun eh, pinipinch niya dun sa white point yung highlights. So, hindi siya talaga destructive. Like what color manage meant na sinabi kanina, hindi talaga niya sinisira yung footage hanggat maaari. Siyempre, pag sinagad mo pa rin, dun na medyo halata. Pero, yun, non-destructive ang color manage workflow. So, that is one advantage of using it. And I think, personally, mas madali ring gumawa ng looks using color manage. So for example, ito offset lang yung ginagalaw ko. Yan. And then bawas ng reds. Okay. Yan. So bawas ng reds. Yan. So yan, you don't need too much nodes to grade a beautiful footage, diba? Simple lang as much as possible. Kumbaga, Resolve did the heavy lifting for you. Hindi mo na kailangan buuin yung contrast from log, ganun. So, yun ang kagandahan ng color manage workflow. So, pwede rin siyang hindi project-based na color manage. So, sanay pa rin tayo dun sa YRGB. Kasi with this, pag color managed, yun nga, yung primaries natin won't work as it normally would, yung kung saan tayo sanay na nagalaw niya. Kasi yun nga, nadadama yung midtone, pinipinch dun sa tuktok. Minsan, hindi ganun yung hinahanap nating galaw eh. So, there is another way to work color manage na hindi mawawala yung feeling ng original na primaries. So let's go back to DaVinci YRGB and Rec 709 Gamma 2.4, and then so I'll use an OpenFX. Yeah, so color space transform. So essentially, ito rin yung ginawa ko on a timeline level. So I know that this is an Alexa, so Ari Alexa, and then Ari Luxy. Tapos I'll convert this to Rec 709 and then Gamma 2.4. Yan. So, ito yung nangyari kanina. Basically, this node, ito yung buong under the hood na ginawa ng Da Vinci. So, hindi nakita yung kung ano yung nangyayaring yan. So, ngayon, yung mga nodes before this transform, it works like a color managed workflow. So, wari, iangat ko yung offset. Diba? Same sa nangyayari kanina. But, if I put a node after the transform, so yung mga normal primaries natin, it would work normally na yung kagaya sa display referred na ano. Yun nga lang, nakiklip na rin siya. So, you have to be careful pa rin sa pag-angat-angat ng mga gain, ng mga gamma, ganun. So, personally, I like to work this way kasi I have more control dun sa look ko eh. So, for example, etong black magic shot na to. So, I'm gonna use color space transform. So, para malaman nyo din pala on some raw footage, you can check sa media page. For example, itong black magic raw na to. So, sa metadata, pwede nyo makita dun kung anong color space siya, tsaka gamma. So, for example, ito gamma notes niya, Blackmagic Design Film, color space, Blackmagic Design. So, yun yung gamit sa camera to. So, and then, you can check also sa raw tab kung anong generation. So, itong sa Blackmagic Generation 4. So, I'm gonna use yung Generation 4 na color space. And then, sa gamma, yung film. Yan. So, Rec 709. Gamma 2.4. Yan. So, yung kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, for raw footage or raw shots, pwede niyong palitan yung light niya eh, di ba? Pag sa log kasi wala tayong raw controls. So, for example, sa ISO, I can change it to at least 3,200, ganun. So, mas natural yung pag-angat ng light niya kaysa for me, mas preferred ko tong way din na to when working with raw files. Kasi, pwede ko pa rin naman siya mabawi sa node. So, babaan ko lang ng konti. Yan. However, at the expense nga lang of having noise. Kasi nga, nagtaas tayo ng ISO. So, higher ISO means higher digital noise sa footage natin. Yan. So, for example, yan. I would work on this. So, pare, ito yung hero shot ko. Excuse me. So, ito ngayon yung gagawan ko ng look. So, orange teal natin kunwari. Yan. So, with just 2 nodes, nakagawa ka na ng look and everything na without making it complicated. So, that's what I love about color managing my projects. Kasi, hindi ka na mahirapan bumuo ng contrast from scratch. Excuse me. Mas mabilis ka nang makakatapos ng project. So imagine working on a feature film, pare 300 shots per part. So kung iisa-isahin mong i-primaries yun and contrast, medyo it will take some time. Kasi especially nowadays, speed na din yung kailangan kasi bumibilis na din yung mga turnarounds ng projects. So, kailangan mabilis ka din magtrabaho. So, color management is one way to speed things up. Yeah. So, I'm just using the offset wheel pala. So, not touching yung lift gamma gain. Personal preference ko lang, I rarely use this. mas yung offset ako and contrast when making looks. Kasi I like broader, kumbaga sa painting, I like broader brush strokes. And then work my way down, kuwari sa mga windows, sa mga secondaries. Saka na ako mag-nitpick. So for example, itong light na to, I find this too bright. Yeah. I will lessen lang yung intensity niya. So I'm gonna use the highlights control. Yan. Mas natural lang din yung pagbaba ng brightness niya. So this is before and then after. So that's why I like highlights. Hindi siya yung super strong na adjustment. Kumbaga may naiiwan pa ring specularity on the highlights. Pero yung roll off niya mas malinis compared when using gain or yung gamma. And then, sorry, may ingay mga aso. So, kaya mag-add naman ako ng vignette. Yan. So, I'm going to ito, para yung inverse niya. And then, same, offset wheels lang din to lessen yung brightness and lessen ang saturation. There we go. So, now we have a graded shot using only 4 nodes na with the big help of color management, hindi ko na kailangan buuin yung contrast niya from scratch. Mas madali na i-controlin. So there are cases naman na when working on a node-based color management. So for example, this Fuji shot, hindi siya available dito sa input color space na to. So that is a problem then for some cameras kasi hindi pa siya supported ng node-based na color space transform. Pero pagdating dun sa color managed workflow, yan, mas marami siyang options eh. So eto may Fujifilm F-Log siya. So ewan ko kay DaVinci bakit dapat same lang siya. Kung ano yung input color spaces dito dapat meron din sa color space transform. So I hope sa next or sa future updates nila ma-fix na yun. Yan. So Rec 709. So my workaround with this is I just grade it the old way. So yan, saka ako magli-lift gamma gain. Yan, maybe add some saturation, ganun. And then contrast. So pag ganyan, wala tayong choice na kasi hindi pa siya available eh. Pero there are plugins na supported na yung ibang inputs. Kaso nga lang, yung iba kasi may kaakibat na film emulation. So minsan nag-add siya ng look na sometimes hindi mo din gusto. So yun, it's up to you na kung gagamitin mo yung tool na yun. Pero I'm not familiar with other tools pa kasi. Yan, so manually ko na lang siyang in-adjust kasi hindi pa siya available. So that is itong color manager to, ito yung isa sa mga advantages niya over a node-based color management. Mas marami siyang inputs, mas marami siyang options for your shots.